balikan natin ang ating mga karambulista at ang programang Karambola sa DWIZ.
Nagbabalik ang Karambola, kasama pa rin sa himpilan, Conrad Banal, Joel Laksamana, ako si Trixie Cruz Angeles. So you were saying about urban planning?
Yeah, again, ang point ng mo, may binigay kang suggestion sa mga LGU officials natin, ba't hindi kayo magsama para sa urban plan? Diba? Ito nga, may bike lanes daw, gagawin ng 470 kilometers more, sabi ng DOT. So, yan ba'y magagawa?
Ang i-report ni BBM sa puro plano. Sa SONA. Kasi may plano ang DOTR, may plano i-privatize ang NAIA, may plano maggawa ng ganyan. Ang DNR may plano magtanim ng 2 million hectares na puno.
Maganda yung plano.
Kulang na lang natin aeroplano So puro plano lang tayo.
So inabot ng isang taon to realize na kailangan ng plano.
Naalala ko kasi nung nagko-cover ako, ang bilin sa akin ng aking mentor na si Pinggalang Sumalangit Nawa. Siya ang news editor namin noon.
Okay.
Pare, ang plano hindi balita.
Okay. Totoo yan.
Puro plano tayo rito.
Ang study, hindi balita. Pinag-aaralan pa yan. Hindi balita yan. Ang balita kung ano na yun nangyari.
Yes.
Ang balita ay result. Kung may ginawang project ang DOTR at eto na ang nangyayari sa project na yan, yun po ang balita. Hindi balita, plano namin, parang yung plano ng Department of Agriculture noon na magtayo ng inspection, import inspection. 3 years ago, plano na yan eh. Hanggang ngayon, wala pa. Okay.
Yeah.
So, nauso sa Karambola, yung threatening to study how to plan.
Mahirap yun.
The selection of tatlong taon na wala pa yung meat inspection na yan. Plano yun eh. So ito, puro plano ngayon ang gusto ng mga cabinet member ni Presidente. Ang tourism may plano. Itong plano. Ang DENR, plano 2 million. I-review ang mga reclamation area. Ang mga project daw sa reclamation area i-review. Hindi po balita yan. Hindi pwedeng ibalita ni President Marcos. Hindi pwedeng ibalita ni President Marcos sa SONA.
Nakaawa presidente natin, puro planong
ano na ang ginawa nyo? Yun ho ang gusto malaman ng taong bayan.
Well, nagplano sila.
Yun ang kanilang ginawa. Bumiyahe abroad.
But I'm sorry, it was a learning year.
Teka muna. So,
kaya usong-uso mga press release, DTI. Puro ganyan. DTI targets.
Pero not counted ba ito pa rin nakalagay? DOTR has earmarked 933 million for the expansion program.
Plano pa rin.
Plano pa rin ba yun?
Earmark pa lang eh.
Pucha, pera na yun eh.
Earmark.
Ay,
Ibig sabihin po, yung earmark, inilaan nyo lang yan. Ang ibig sabihin niya, pag nagkaroon tayo na 900 million, dito natin gagamitin yan.
Kung nagkaroon.
Andiyan na may pera. Wala pa. Earmark pa lang.
So, yun naging balita.
So, puro plano po yan.
May byline pang hinayup.
Ang DTI, puro plano rin. Nasaan na ba yung mga logistics hub?
Hala. Bakit mo ginagamit yung unang SONA?
Sabi ni Marcos doon we will put up logistics hub. Yung minerals we will process for exports.
Okay.
Alam mo dapat yung mga tenyente niya, pag sinabi na ng bossing yan, okay, lagyan na natin ng karne yung pinangako ng presidente.
Okay. So, may we move on to the...
Move on. Yan, ako excited.
Nagagalit na yung bitin na. Tapos parang sa akin pa binabalita, huy, attorney, may nangyari kay Attorney Gadon.
Uy!
Attorney,
Larry, kidlat. Kaibigan ng lahat, Gadon.
Ano nangyari dyan?
Nag-embank session ng Supreme Court on the 27th. yesterday.
Hapon?
Yesterday. Tuesdays usually ang en banc. So the Supreme Court came up with a resolution. They issued the announcement today. And the announcement says, Court unanimously disbars Attorney Lorenzo Larry Gadon for misogynistic, sexist, abusive, and repeated intemperate language. Okay.
Ayun yung kasalanan niya.
Yeah. Ito yung facts as found by the court. The en banc resolved to disbar Attorney Gadon for the viral video clip where he repeatedly cursed and uttered profane remarks against journalist Raisa Robles.
Espinosa. Actually, Raisa Robles Espinosa. Espinosa Robles.
Yeah.
Sorry.
She's married.
Asawa pala siya ni Alan.
Alan Robles. Hindi ka mag-anak ni Jojo Robles.
Hindi.
This is the interesting part.
Okay, go ahead.
The court had motu proprio on its own and without a complaint yan. Taken cognizance of the video clip and issued an earlier order of preventive suspension from the practice of law against Gadon pending a judgment in the case. It violates the Code of Professional Responsibility that says a lawyer shall at all times act with propriety and maintain the appearance of propriety in personal and professional dealings. Observe honesty, respect and courtesy, and uphold the dignity of the legal profession consistent with the highest standards
Nako, lahat ng lawyer disbarred.
ethical behavior.
Kuya ng argument.
But they also go
Honesty?
into
Oh my God!
Really?
Except attorney. Trixie Cruz.
I am not, makasalanan din tayo. So, nobody will survive these standards. Okay. Pero sige. And the court also indicates yung mga previous behaviors. Kasi for you to be disbarred, usually one incident is not
Does
enough.
not make it.
Okay. So, or at least should not be. Kasi, but you'll have to have done something really heinous. Diba?
Okay, ano pa sabi?
So the court said, Gadon had been previously convicted by the court and suspended from the practice of law for 3 months for similarly using offensive and intemperate language, and was warned that a repetition of the same offense will merit a more severe sanction. There are 6 other administrative cases pending before the Office of the Bar Confidant against Gadon and 4 before the Commission on Bar Discipline of the IBP. Kasi, pwede rin silang mauna eh. The court thus concluded, although these cases have yet to be decided, this is the interesting part, the volume of administrative complaints filed against Attorney Gadon indubitably speaks of his character. I can't on that one. Medyo mahirap paabot sa tao yan. The court in the same decision cited Gadon in direct contempt for his baseless allegations of partiality and bias against Senior Associate Justice Marvic M.V.F. Leonen and Associate Justice Alfredo Benjamin Caguiwa. Gadon sought to inhibit the 2 justices from acting on the case on grounds which the court found to be purely conjecture. You will need to have a look at this statement to find some I'm trying to be nice yung mga contradictions. Okay. So, the unanimous ruling ended with this reminder to all lawyers: the privilege to practice law is bestowed only upon individuals who are competent intellectually, academically, and equally important, morally. There is no room in the noble profession for misogyny and sexism. The court will never tolerate abuse in whatever form, especially when perpetrated by an officer of the court.
Wow. Such idea. Such lofty. Taas naman ang standard ng
I have to be
Such
careful.
lofty ideals.
Backgrounder. Okay.
Pero hindi ko maintindihan ang timing.
Let's timing is highly suspect. Pero let's analyze.
Timing number 1. Na-appoint lang sa Malacanang.
Bigla na lang nag-dumisisyon na.
The decision.
Okay.
Remember last year pa.
Ang tagal na niyan.
More than a year ago. Yes, very active siya dito. And And the interesting thing here is that it was a viral video even Ms. Robles had not filed a complaint when the court took cognizance of the allegedly viral video.
Ay, ibig sabihin po ng motu proprio,
On its
sabi
own.
ni Trixie, ganito yan eh, nag-aaway si Robles at saka si Gadon on politics.
Oh.
Alam niyo naman ang politics dito sa atin. Walang pelo-pelo yan. Walang preno yan. Walang,
If I remember-
patayan nga, umaabot sa patayan
If I
yan.
remember correctly, kay Raisa noon, it was about yung taxes yata na hindi daw binayaran ng Marcos family.
Kaya nga, anyway,
Yun,
nag-aaway
parang
sila
ganun issue.
on politics kasi eleksyon.
Eleksyon kampanya.
Aaway sila. Meron nga, pinapatay yung, nililibing, gumagamit pa ng pison para maglibing for politics. Ganyan ho ang klase ng politics dito sa atin. So nag-aaway itong dalawa. Sabi ng Supreme Court, teka, Gadon, disbarred ka. Bakit? Hindi tama yung pakikipag-away mo.
Yung lingwahe mo, misogynistic. Ano nga ba misogynistic?
Yung against women.
Against women! Okay, sige.
Yung
It's not against women, it's against Raisa.
Woman si Raisa eh.
Kahit lalaki siya, kung gano'n siya, gano'n pa din ang away nila. Ibig sabihin, nag-aaway yung dalawa. The Supreme Court steps in at kinampihan si Raisa.
without her asking for help.
Inumpakan si Gadon. Yan ang analysis.
One of the
At hindi nila ginagawa to sa ibang mga tao. Kumbaga, siningle out nila si Gadon.
Atty. Larry Gadon.
in this particular case.
Why? May personalan na yan. Yun ang tingin ko. Yun sa akin. May personalan na yan.
Ito ay widely discussed dun sa mga sa larangan ng mga abogado, mga mahistrado, ganun.
Anong discussion?
Kasi yung preventive suspension, walang ganyan. Bukod tanging si Attorney Larry pa lang ang naririnig namin na ganitong nangyari. Posible noon na nakakalimutan na ng
may mga nagdidispar, alam ko, pero may nagre-reklamo.
One, yes. Pwede rin naman. Hindi naman issue ang Supreme Court takes cognizance of it. But this is the first time viral video. Tapos nag-impose kagad ng preventive suspension. Normally yan, papadalang ka ng notice, explain why you should not be disciplined. So, yung preventive suspension, ginamit nila yung term na preventive suspension, parang biglang nabuo, may term na kagad na preventive suspension to get around the due process. Kasi, hindi nila pwedeng isuspendihin kagad si Attorney Larry nang wala siyang opportunity na i-explain yung side niya. Pero dito, in his particular case, siguro na-shock yung mga justices, they immediately suspended him, called it a preventive suspension, even if it does not seem to appear in the rules. Maybe I should go back on them, but wala siyang kumbaga, suspend muna, explain later, afterwards. So yun yung first na nakayanig dun sa profession. Okay. Pwede pala yun. Na after we keep saying that the Constitution guarantees due process, pagdating pala sa mga ganito, hindi pwede. And it really takes the law is changed by extreme circumstances. So, if extreme yung behavior ni Attorney Larry, all the more, we have to be very precise about how we use the law, especially when it comes to disciplining him.
Meron ako, attorney, kumbaga, ang point of view na Supreme Court dito, moral values. Di ka pwede magmura, hindi ka pwedeng moral values. Okay. Pwede, malaking bagay sa atin yun. Okay. Pilipino. Yung moralidad ng Pilipino, kailangan importante yun. But kailangan ba mas mauna yan? Kesa doon sa halimbawa mga kaso na ilang dekada na, tukol sa tubig, tukol sa LRT-1. Ang daming kaso na involve ang public interest at natutulog sa Supreme Court.
Yan. And who will police the Supreme Court?
At ito, moral issue. Na? Apektado ba ang milyong-milyong Pilipino rito?
Mapapakain ba tayo niyan? Is what you're saying, di ba? Is this ko na?
Ibig sabihin, asan ang sense of priority ng ating pinakamataas?
Or proportion?
Nahukuman.
Nahukuman na after the Supreme Court, pupunta ka na sa Diyos. to appeal. Yan ang ating sukdulan po, Supreme Court.
Okay.
Yung ating mga katayuan dito sa baba tungkol sa tubig, tungkol sa mga hinanaing natin, nandoon sa kanila na napakatatagal na,
Okay.
ilang dekade na, walang aksyon. Nag-ruling nga, pero walang, hindi pwedeng refund.
The water is a, di ba, human right pa universally recognized human right.
Po yan.
Ay,
Hindi nyo
naiintindihan
pwedeng
ko
i-deny
yun.
sa tao yan. Walang aksyon na Supreme Court. Tapos ito moral grounds.
Yan.
Morality.
Remember what I said
Napakatataas ng mga standard na Supreme Court. Kasi sila ganyan.
ito medyo
Very moral, highly moral sila.
disturbing yung isa.
Ano?
Yung paragraph that takes into consideration that he has 6 pending administrative cases before the bar confidant and 4 before the Commission on Bar Discipline, which is in the IBP. Tapos sinabi, the court concluded, although these cases have yet to be decided, the volume of complaints speaks of his character.
Kasi nga, ang dami kaaway niya. Ang dami niyang inaway.
The volume pala is
Volume.
evidence.
Volume is
Oh my
evidence.
God.
Not necessarily
What if you're innocent in all of them? What if all of these can be explained?
Pilit na pilit yan.
What if kaya nga, so for me, I'm a little disturbed that because sometimes a person can be persecuted. What if ang kalaban mo is a big institution that has resources to file cases against you in different areas? And if the bar discipline, all of that will go to the IBP. But my point is that pag malakas pala yung enemy mo, kawawa ka kung mag-isa kang abogado.
Tama.
Because volume...
kung meron ka nakaaway, abogado ka.
Oo.
Lahat ng kaibigan niya, pinailang ka ng kaso. Sa mere volume, tanggal ka na.
Oo. Ngayon, the other thing I need to will be discussed by lawyers is how uneven administrative cases seem to be implemented.
Iba ang tinitignan sa tinatanaw. Magkaiba. Halimbawa, moral issues ang pinag-uusapan ng Supreme Court dito. Meron nakakulong doon, inamin niya, nakipagkuhanan siya, kung ano man, ng saba sa driver, sa security. Inamin niya. Meron bang aksyon na motu proprio?
Wala.
Hindi ba?
May due process pa siya.
Pinag-uusapan nyo dito, boss.
At hindi na rin natin
Ang morality
narinig.
ng lawyers
Hindi na rin natin narinig yung resolution ng kaso niya. Kasi may disbarment siya for refusing to heed the Supreme Court's order dun sa KGMA.
Isa pa yun. Yan, defiance na talaga
Defiance
ng order
yun.
yan.
She
Isa pa yan.
alleges she did not receive the order of the court.
Ayan, klarong violation ng iyong sinumpaan.
It cost her.
Hindi moral yan eh.
It cost her a seat,
diba?
in the
Hindi
Supreme
moral
Court.
yan, hindi morality yan. Talagang sinuway mo sa Supreme Court.
Ayun,
Konkreto yun. Hindi walang tungkol sa morality doon.
So it's medyo concerning itong mga to, and definitely lawyers are going to talk about it. Pangatlo, in most countries, the bar and the judiciary are separate. The
Yun ang
bar
sabi,
disciplines itself.
Usually, the bar ang dumidesisyon, di ba?
May nagsasabi na, kaya laki yung ganyan dahil kasama niyo si Gadon dyan. Siyempre, sino pa magtatanggol kay Larry?
The people who know him the best.
Sarap yung ihian
Baka ka niyan, makasuhan.
Fortunately, hindi ka abogado. So,
baka itakwil ako ng Rotary Club ko
dito, ayan, administrative case.
Administrative case.
So,
motu proprio, Conrad Banal.
Dito, the Supreme Court has administers the discipline of lawyers. Okay. In other countries, the bar being separate from the judiciary, from the bench. Okay. The bar can even police individuals who occupy the bench. So pwede mong ipa-disbar yung isang judge if he does not live up to the same standards that you expect from other lawyers. Because you're still a lawyer. Diba? So the bar can discipline the bench, individuals of the bench, not the entire judiciary. The bench can also file complaints, but they will be subservient to the bar when it comes to disciplining the ranks. Dito, hiniwalay nila ang yung Judicial Academy lang, pero and then there's the court administrator na nag-i-impose ng discipline sa mga judges. So, you can't disbar, let's say, a Supreme Court justice kasi impeachable official sila. You cannot use disbarment to effectively impeach without going through an impeachment process.
Okay.
So,
dapat
safe
ma-impeach
sila.
muna bago ma-disbar.
Immune
Matanggal
sila.
muna sila.
Correct. So,
But si Chief Justice ba si Sereno disbarred?
hindi. At walang motu proprio.
Hindi siya disbarred, natanggal siya as Supreme Court?
The Supreme Court will discipline their own ranks. And they did not. in
Anong
that
parusa
case.
kay Meilu for lying about her salin?
Na lang, kumbaga, they considered her as not having complied with the requirements and therefore not qualified for the position.
Isn't that dishonesty?
Hindi ko makontra yung Supreme Court. Yes, actually it is, but apparently the Supreme Court felt it fit that being removed from the position is punishment enough.
Punishment enough. Okay.
So, and that is my point. For example, Attorney Chel Jokno lied to the Supreme Court saying may mga kliyente siya when he in fact had never met these clients.
Attorney, virtual clients.
It's not allowed.
It's not allowed? Even virtual?
If I did that, good luck.
Tanggal ka na.
Oo. But because this is Attorney Chel Jokno, in recognition of, I suppose, his own achievements and his father's achievements and his family's achievements.
May award din siya kasi sa galing ng tatay niya.
Well, that is the impression, okay? We're not saying that that's what the court did. But the impression is that they went easy on Attorney Chel when if another lawyer did that, good luck. And
Patay
in
ka na.
fact, the records of the court are full of cases against lawyers who did not have the same, let's say, gravitas or
pedigree or whatever.
Pedigree or fame or notoriety of other lawyers. There is no in fact in bar discipline walang res judicata, meaning the law of the case, meaning 'di ba when we go to the Supreme Court, we rely also on what we call precedents.
Okay.
So, it means that in a previous case, this is how the
Ganito ang
court
nagdesisyon,
decided on similar facts and on the same law. And therefore, it should apply to others. Not so in bar discipline. So, you can have somebody who's notoriously, let's say, bad with women, multiple affairs, and they're very public, and he gets a slap on the wrist. And a person who comes up, another lawyer who did a fraction of that, gets disbarred. So,
alam niyo po, si Attorney Gadon, kakilala ko yan personally. At napakagaling po na padre de pamilya. Sa akin, ako, huwaran ko siya. Sa pagdadala ng pamilya, sa pagdadala ng pagmamahal sa asawa, pagmamahal sa anak. Ano po siya, very caring sa kanyang pamilya. Kung meron siyang persona in public, ito, itatay ako, papuputol ko, winner.
your toe?
Ang buhok. Ang buhok.
Okay.
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 Pag may nagsabi sa inyo, pag may nakapagpatunayan, ito ay ng babae, si Larry Gadon. Yung kung personal life niya, napakaganda. Meron siyang public image. Yung public image na yon, hindi ho ganun yung morality niya. Kung kakilala nyo si Larry Gadon. Malayong malayo. Yung public image, kumbaga, sa isang showbiz, pwede na nating sabihin public figure si Larry Gadon. May element na showbiz. yung kanyang ginagawa. Yun ang tinignan ng Supreme Court.
Oo.
No, we're not saying that the Supreme
Yung
Court was
isang
being...
incident na nag-video siya dahil nag-aaway sila ni yung hindi kamag-anak ni Jojo.
Hindi. Oo nga, no? Diba, parati may ano yan si Jojo nun eh. Hindi ko kamag-anak yan. One more, we're not saying that the court was unfair or anything like that, because the court also has to look at the big picture.
I know.
Diba? The big picture here is that
Hindi ko na nagustuhan tricks yung timing.
I agree. I
Actually,
agree with
tanong ko
that
yung
one.
timing. Tsaka, by the way,
Kung noon
15-0,
that's how they felt,
Oo.
dapat noon pa
Dapat
nilabas
nung pa
nila yan.
dinesisyon lang at 15-0.
Ngayon na ganyan na na-appoint si Larry.
Parang may
Gadon,
nag-trigger. Ano yung
anti-poverty.
trigger nito?
I can't speculate on that. Ang ina-explain ko lang dito is what the situation is for lawyers. Ito yung when doctors get sued, the doctors, they band together. They will not testify against that doctor. They will not.
Okay.
The bar is completely different. It is encouraged to file cases against fellow lawyers. Now, there's an imbalance here. Who is going to protect the lawyers? It's supposed to be the IBP, but the Supreme Court delegates the task of investigating and disciplining the lawyers to the IBP. The Supreme Court has the same power. So now we have two bodies. They don't, hindi naman nagka-clash yan. At saka hindi yan, kumbaga, if nasa IBP na, hindi naman pwede sa Supreme Court. So there's a procedure for that. But my point is, what about a lawyer who is facing odds like this one? Or like, let's just say, not this particular case. What if there's a lawyer who has a very powerful enemies?
Yeah.
Diba? Who is going to protect that lone voice? So, I think maybe also, given the notoriety of this one, I understand that the court wants to impose discipline as well as the image of propriety. We cannot fly off the handle. Yun ang sinasabi ng Supreme Court. You cannot use intemperate language. You're a member of this profession. You alone are licensed to appear before the courts. You are an officer of the court. I get that. But also, the bar, I think, should beg the court to apply a little bit of maybe it is time also to look into how patently unfair it seems. Not necessarily
Sa akin
is.
na hindi
it
lang,
seems
it's
to some people.
out and out unfair.
Okay.
Trixie, why? Yung pong video na ginawa ni Larry, balikan ko lang ang details nito na hindi sinabi ng Supreme Court. Ang sinabi ng Supreme Court, viral. Ito yung sa akin, bakit nag-viral yan? Ang nagpa-viral po niyan, yung hindi kamag-anak ni Jojo Robles. Dahil si Larry, pinadala niya yung video na yan, personal,
kay
Raisa Robles. Si Larry ba naglabas niya sa publiko? Away nila kasi yan tayong dalawa lang dito So pinadala niya. Sino naglabas niya?
Si Raisa herself.
Si Raisa.
She put it on Twitter. And
dapat si Raisa i-disiplina nyo.
That's where it was. It beyond the reach of the Supreme Court yan
Bakit beyond the reach of the Supreme?
Hindi siya abogado. Hindi naman madidiscipline ng court si
moto
Raisa.
proprio You can do anything Moto proprio
I get it. Yeah. Pero significant rin yan para sa akin na he did it in private. So, the decision of the court obviously will say you can't use intemperate language even in private. Which, for me, opens
kailangan
up...
santo na lahat ng... dapat santo kayo. Perfect kayo. Hindi kayo pwede...
Not only that. What is the evidence?
Ayoko na maging lawyer.
What is the
Hindi ako
evidence?
perfect
What if it's a he said, she said?
Oo.
Do we automatically... well, in this case, there was evidence. But is it heading in that direction?
Teka, inimbestiga ba nila yung video kung genuine yun?
Well, I don't know.
Pwede ba tampered dyan? Pwede inimbestiga ba ng Supreme Court?
Tinaano pala.
Oo.
Well,
so they took what Raisa Robles released. Diba? Face value.
So,
authentic yan. Hindi... Anong klaseng decision yun?
Well, the big picture is, sorry, alam ko nag-overtime tayo. Pero may momentum, sorry po. Okay. More on this later. But I'd really just like to reiterate that the court was looking at the big picture here. They have to prevent other lawyers from copying this kind of behavior.
Okay.
They need to, but this is also indicative of something, that the standards are changing. And the court is always the last to change when it comes
when
to
we come back,
to that.
may mga nagtatanong, pwede bang i-appeal, i-question
We'll
the
answer
decision,
their questions pagbalik. Ang oras natin, 9:39 ng umaga.
Balikan natin ang ating mga karambulista at ang programa Karambola sa DWIZ.
Babalik ang Karambola, kasama pa rin si Impilan, Conrad Banaljo, Laksamana, Pustik, si Cruz Angeles. To the question, pwede bang i-pardon daw si Attorney Larry ni President BBM? Unfortunately po, the issue of bar discipline solely belongs to the Supreme Court. Hindi po abot yung scope ng presidential pardon dyan. Presidential pardon applies to criminal cases.
Pero meron pa ring MR yan.
In fact, in
Motion
his
for
statement,
reconsideration.
Attorney Larry says that for now, his action is to get a copy of the decision of NBank and then file a motion for reconsideration.
Ito yung aking personal na tingin dyan.
Okay.
Yung position ngayon nung co-host namin na si Attorney Larry Gadon sa anti-poverty. Okay. Hindi ko kailangan ng lawyer dyan. Ang kailangan dyan, may puso ka lang. Okay? Para sa akin, ang major requirement para maging cabinet advisor ka para labanan ng kahirapan dito sa Pilipinas, may puso ka para sa mahihirap. Hindi ko kailangan ng abogado dyan. So, may effect ba yon sa posisyon na binigay ni President BBM kay Attorney Larry, yung disbarment ng Supreme Court? Ang tingin ko dyan, wala. Inasar lang. Pang-asar lang to. Malamang pang-asar kay Larry, pang-asar din kay BBM na Supreme Court. Dahil ang latay nito, hindi naman kay Larry, ang latay nito kay BBM. Parang ang message, yan, kita mo, in-appoint mo. Yan, didisbar namin niya, in-appoint mo. Parang ang message nito kay BBM. Okay? Hindi ko kailangan abogado dyan. Ang kailangan dyan, meron ka lang talagang puso, nagagawin mo yung trabahong yon para sa mahihirap.
Yeah.
Ako, kasi personal kong kakilala yan si Larry Gadon. Alam ko may mga ginagawa yan, namimigay po ng mga packed food items and everything na hindi naman niya ina-announce.
Nung pandemic, ang dami niyang natulungan. Sa totoo lang.
Pati ako.
Pati kami.
Binibigyan niya ako ng mga pamimigay ko.
Correct.
Ako pabida dun sa mga taong yon, pero galing po kay Larry Gadon yun.
Sa the countless times na kahit yung mga cheerful word lang, di ba? Maraming naitulong si Attorney Larry, hindi namin kayang
Ngayon,
lahat.
Maraming galit sa kanya, and I can understand kasi politika
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Politika yan Yung mga dyaryo, galit sa kanya iba.
In fact, ang mangyayari nito, mula ngayon, mga lead ngayon, hindi na controversial lawyer, hindi. Disbarred lawyer. Nalagay nila dyan. Sigurado ko. Naka-template na yan sa mga newsroom.
When did this start? When did it become a title? When did people start saying suspended lawyer, disbarred lawyer? This is libelous sa totoo lang. Because the Supreme Court even said before na yung mga cases like this, except until after the decision has come out, yung pag nililitis pa lang, confidential yan So, and also, if it is considered by the standards of the court and of bar discipline na hindi dapat din verbally ina-abuse or verbally tinapahiya ang members of the profession, then I hope that sometimes kasi very powerful ang Supreme Court is that once in a while that they take a look at how it feels to be on the bottom.
Okay.
To be the ones who are being disciplined.
Okay.
We want at least the impression of fairness, 'di ba? And yung mga cases like this where we have a hugely popular lawyer like Attorney Gadon, there's going to be a lot of commentary on this. And not all of it will be favorable to the court.
Okay, totoo.
So, natatamaan sila sa mga ganito. You impose the standard that you must not only be proper, but you must also give the impression of propriety.
Ito, ewan ko, anong kuha mo rito? Ang Supreme Court po, dineclare, yung postponement daw ng barangay and sangguniang kabataan elections, dapat yan last year, ginawa na yan, na-postpone yan at gagawin ngayong Oktubre. Darating na Oktubre. Sabi ng Supreme Court, unconstitutional yan. Pero okay lang sa kanila na mag-eleksyon na sa October. Yan constitutional, pero ituloy nyo na lang.
I need to read that decision. That's
Okay?
unusual,
Yan na po. Kumbaga, yung tubig, masama yan. Illegal yan pagkubra nyo. Sinisingil nyo sa taong bayan, yung inyong income tax. Illegal yan. Pero, hindi nyo na pwedeng bawiin. Yung isiningil. Diba? Eto din, Supreme Court, unconstitutional. Pero tuloy nyo na lang.
Di ba yung DAP and PDAP nga? It's unconstitutional but can only apply prospectively. Meaning wala tayong paparusahan doon sa mga gumawa na doon.
Well, I suppose
Does this inspire confidence in the Supreme
Ito
Court?
yung sinasabi ni Atty. Trixie because the Supreme Court is a body which mandate nila to look at the big picture. Di ba? Yung malaking larawan rather than specific na mga transgressions o krimen. Yun na lang pinaka-explanasyon ko. Pero alam mo dito kay Atty. Larry, if I know Atty. Larry, tama mo kasi napakabait na tao niya, na family man and all that. But he's feisty as hell. I think ang lalong mangyayari. This will
Kasi
not stop him. This will not stop him. Hindi hinto siya na style.
In fact,
yun ang kanyang mission
What has he got to lose
public,
now? Diba? Yun yung alam mo yun, yung threat is actually more effective than the action. This is one of those instances. Yung threat of disbarment and discipline and all that, it compels him to respond. And diba, in many instances, we have seen him pull back already. But now that they have taken away his license, subject to motion for reconsideration, what has he got to lose? Wala na yung part na yun. The threat was keeping him somewhat in check. Well, I think that if ever he's going to change, it will be because of BBM.
Okay.
Because he has put him into a position
na hindi ka pwede masyado magsalita ng ganyan siguro.
Where the action will be far more important than what he says. So, fight, Attorney Larry.
Yeah.
Ganito yun. It's bigger than you na now.
Labas naman dyan. Babanggitin ko lang. At in fact, si Atty. Larry, in-introduce niya yung bagong feeding program niya. BBM. Batang Busog. Malusog. In time
Movement. It's a movement, hindi yung programa.
Okay.
In other words, ibig sabihin ng movement, hindi ni gobyerno ang main actor dito. Ang magpapasimula, yung office ni Larry Gadon na ngayon po expanded na yan.
Yes.
Marami yung mga ahensya inilagay dyan sa kanyang office. So magkakaroon ng staff yan. It's a full cabinet. Ngayon, yung kaya tinawag na movement yan, ibig sabihin mai-involve ang publiko rito. Hindi lang one way to the government will do it. Okay, yung nutrition ang target dito. Nutrition.
Which is a major advocacy ni Atty. Larry kahit noon pa.
Noon pa. Noon pa yan. Wala pa siya sa karambola, ginagawa na niya yan. Kaya hindi nyo po pwedeng sabihin na how siya or what. Spur of the moment. Kung tawagin nga ni Jera, sperm of the moment. Hindi ho.
Natawa tuloy si engineer. Natutulog si engineer sa boot sperm of the moment ka dyan. Sige. Okay.
Hindi matagal niya nang ginagawa yan. At movement yan. Yun ang gusto ko dyan, yung movement. Ibig sabihin, lahat tayo kailangan kumilos dito. Movement nga Pag kilos yan, hindi plano. Okay? hindi study, hindi review. It's a movement. Ang movement no, ibig sabihin no, connotes action. Okay? Yun ang gusto ko dyan sa nutrition program na yan. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Ay. But this is not gonna stop Attorney Larry.
Tuloy pa rin si Attorney Larry.
Nor is it going to make the President change his mind about Attorney Larry.
Meantime, nagbigay na po daw ng ng kontrata ang LTO. Ito pa, puro plano rin itong mga DOTR.
Malapit na SONA, kailangan may planong
plano.
sa plano.
Nag-award na raw ng supply contract ang nanalo ho, Banner Plasticard Inc. Uy, yan ang magsusupply ng
lisensya.
Plastic
lisensya. Kasi kayong papel
Mahigit 5 million piece. Paano nangyari yan? Nakakapusin tayo na supply ng lisensya. Taon-taon nagre-renew. Marami nagre-renew yan. Na lisensya. Dati nga, taon-taon. Ngayon nga, 5 years na. Pero yung 5 years na yon, every year, marami pa rin nag-expire at nagre-renew. Bakit na dumating doon sa punto na mauubusan ng plastic card for the license?
Maraming
anong klaseng, ang balita, puro planning. Anong klaseng planning meron kayo dyan? 5 million pieces of plastic license. So ngayon, nagmamadali nagpa-bidding. At least may nanalo niya. Na award na raw po yung kontrata ng LTO.
Kanina.
Yun nga it's Banner Plasticard Incorporated. Banner Plasticard Incorporated.
I want to know why it wasn't awarded to the government. We have an NPO that's capable.
National
We also have
Office,
APO, also capable. Were they given the opportunity to... Hindi dapat binibid nga pag government to government Ewan ko. But
cards,
I think
supply lang ng card to
okay.
Supply
hindi pa yung printing. Hindi kasi usually yung printing kasama supply.
Hindi yung printing ginagawa na ng LTO.
Di kaya
may sarili na sila. Yung card lang, yung magsusupply ng card.
Hindi, ganito yan
Okay.
Ang NPO at saka APO, nagsusupply din sila kasi they get really good deals from the the suppliers. Plus mas maano yung standard.
Kasi bulk.
Correct. And sanay. It's not sanay na sa So ako, dati kasi may, at least before when we were in there, the rule was, unahin ang gobyerno. Gobyerno muna ang pakitain nyo kasi yung private. Pangalawa, even sa news, inuuna namin ang government media assets before maglabas ka sa private na media. So, it's kind of like mamamayan muna, and because the government is off and by the people, then
makes sense.
Unahin yun. So, I'm just wondering bakit.
Alam niyo itong problema nito, 2 years in the making.
Okay.
Last year kasi, dapat meron ka ng kontrata for the supply of last year.
Okay.
Noong 2021, gagawin niya yung kontrata na yan. Hindi nangyari yon.
Okay.
Kaya wag niyo sisisihin si BBM dito. Okay, inaabot na ho nila yan ng walang kontrata from last year.
Okay.
Ang hindi ko lang nagustuhan sa LTO, ba't hindi nagmadali?
Sense of urgency.
Na kumuha ng kontrata.
Kailangan na. Oo.
Napalitan na tuloy yung...
Naglakwatsahan lang kayo dyan.
Napalitan tuloy yung... Inunahan nga, ang dinig ko inunahan niya. Narinig na papalitan siya.
Nag-resign.
Kasi my guess is...
Napakasimple, plastic para sa lisensya, mauubusan ng Pilipinas. Akala ko bang we're hurrying to get to...
At ang
high-income country.
Ang insider dyan is hindi naman daw nagkulang sa pagpapaalala from the DOTR.
Hindi lang bambuhan na ho ang kailangan dyan.
Hindi.
Paalala ng DOTR sa LTO.
Oo.
Under naman ng LTO sa DOTR talagang...
That's why, kanino sinuply yan?
Sa
Sino
LTO.
nag-conduct ng bidding?
LTO.
Are you sure?
Oh.
Are you sure?
Hindi, sabi ng LTO, sila nag-award.
Sila yung nag-award na later on. Kasi pinaalala
Sinentralize.
ng DOTR na kung hindi mo gagawin yan,
Kami ang gagawa.
Kami ang gagawa. So bago pa nagawa ng DOTR, pinalitan yung head.
Okay.
May nangyari
May personal
somewhere.
fee.
Ang dapat ito inaasikaso natin dyan, hindi yung problema ng plastic. Ang problema, ang inaasikaso dapat ng LTO, ang education ng mga motorista. Imbes na ang oras natin nagugugol dyan sa pag-aalala ng supply ng plastic, dapat doon sa education po ng public, eto kalalabas lang. Dumataas daw po ang mga death sa road accidents.
Okay.
11,487 ang namatay sa transport accidents.
Okay.
Last year?
11,487.
Actually, one is too many. But that's concerning. Very,
11,000? Namatay sa road accidents? Grabe yun.
So, yun.
Isa daw ho sa killer na ngayon yan dito sa Pilipinas.
So, heart disease, cancer, vehicular accident. Yung mga preventable yun.
Ang nababalitaan natin, plastic. Hindi natin nababalitaan paano ma-solve itong ganitong kalaking death sa traffic, sa transport
Parang
accidents.
remember before.
Isang bus, ubus ang sakay. Paano nangyari yun? Nasaan ang supervision ng LTO dyan? Ang LTFRB?
Alam niyo, it's like yung noon sa DOH, di ba kinakalampag natin parate? Fortunately, si Doc Teddy na, pero kinakalampag natin sila because hindi pinapansin yung rising incidence ng HIV.
Yan, isa pa yan.
Infection sa atin.
Okay.
And we only have 2 major institutions that are handling it. Can you imagine?
Tapos hindi ginagawa yung program, yung sa anti-TB.
It's...
Hindi ginagawa yung
Do you know
programa.
that AIDS and HIV has killed more people than it killed in the pandemic?
Really?
Than has died. Before, ewan ko, I have to update my statistics.
Address ni
But
Secretary
there's a
Durbosa
time
yan.
na, and it's yearly where it's not stopping. In all other countries, bumababa yung incidences nito.
Ng
Maganda na
HIV?
yung gamot. Oo, the antiretrovirals are becoming more and more sophisticated every year. At they are already foreseeing a time na they will actually have a cure. But we're still at the stage na rising yung incidences. Mababa yung educational o yung awareness campaign, mababa din yung pag-address natin ng kasi once it's not a death sentence anymore, the drugs can prolong your life and it's a good quality life. We're just not getting it out, the info fast enough. Okay? Maraming salamat sa pagsubaybay sa karambolan nitong araw na ito. Antabayanan susunod na programa ron, The Pilipinas.
Love the Philippines, please.
With Mr. Luna.
You don't have to tell us that. Grade school pa lang ako, na-realize ko na yan. That I love my country.
On behalf of Conrad Banal, Joel Laksamana, we'll see you tomorrow. Ako po si Trixie Cruz Angeles.
Sumainyo ang programang Karambola sa DWIZ. Hanggang sa muli, tayo'y magbabalik upang ihatid ang pagtalakay sa iba't ibang mga issue. Dito pa rin sa programang Karambola sa DWIZ.